this game ends up going the distance here. Simply the incoming... Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerdlings of all ages, welcome to this evening's Gfinity Spring Masters 2 EU Qualifier. All games are going to be best of 3 right up until the semi-finals, which will, of course, be best of 5s, at which point we have qualifiers to the main event. So there won't be a finals played, to my knowledge. But we're going to be starting things off with a PvP, and on Deadwing, spawning in the bottom left-hand position is the blue Protoss player. Ladies and gentlemen, it's GungFuBanda. And his opponent, spawning in the top right position, representing Neurosoft Gaming, it's the Korean player, Hunter. Now, we haven't seen too much of Hunter before, so I'm going to be really interested to see what he does and how well he fares up against the composition in this qualifier here. I don't know much about him other than he's a Korean Protoss with a very, very sparse Wikipedia page. So if anyone has any particular thoughts on him or has information on him in chat, feel free to bounce it my way. Throughout the duration of this entire broadcast as well, you can always go ahead and tweet at me. I am at JoRoSaR on Twitter, predictably enough. And I will be checking out the comments you guys leave on social media throughout the rest of this broadcast. So make sure you go ahead and say hello there as well. Right now, though, things looking pretty identical. Cybernetics cores coming down at exactly the same time for both players. Pylon placement for Hunter in the edges of the base, just to be certain he can spot any air units such as warp prisms coming into the base from a little bit further out. And we see both sides now starting to get their scouts on. Hunter going to be moving from the top right position. And similarly, GungFuBanda is going to be moving in from the bottom left. It looks like... Oh, are we actually going to see a cross scout first from Hunter? We are indeed. So after checking out this watchtower here, he's going to go straight into the cross positions. Very, very interesting indeed. And he will be able to spot that GungFuBanda is in the cross positions. And we do have an instantaneous Twilight Council coming out of here from GungFuBanda. And, ooh, it hasn't been spotted by the probe yet, and it might actually get spotted if he's not careful. Oh, and it gets killed off without the Twilight Council being spotted. I believe Hunter was just going to check out any potential gas timing. We'll be able to see that that gas was taken, but hasn't actually seen this gas here. And the Twilight Council is behind. In the meantime, we have the Stargate coming out for Hunter. So, a little bit of a an interesting scout there. And, well, it's not going to be fast blink because this probe has actually gone for that Dark Shrine. Now, this is going to be very, very entertaining indeed. We're going to see very quick DTs here, and this, I mean, this could just straight up win the game. So we'll keep an eye on what Hunter's response is. Hunter does not know what's going on right now. He didn't see the second gas. He didn't see the Twilight Council, so he doesn't even know that Dark Templars are a possibility right now. And this is going to be followed up by a robotics facility from GungFuBanda. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, we have Hunter patrolling with that Stalker. We've got a second one joining in, but we're soon going to have a pylon for warp-ins of Dark Templars. Now, how much damage is this going to cause to Hunter? Stargate with Oracles popping out now. We're going to be following that, moving out across the map. The Dark Shrine is nearly complete. This is going to be a very dynamic PvP to start things off with. And don't forget, these are only best of 3s. It's a single elimination bracket. And, well... Probe not going to be able to get in, but the pylon is there. Are we going to be seeing those warp-ins? Dark Shrine about to complete now. Oh my goodness, I forgot how long this takes now. And there we go. One. Just the one so far. Let's keep an eye on those. Well, the mineral and gas count tends to be a little bit tricky. We have actually a Nexus going down behind this, so it's not going to be sort of crazy investment into those Dark Templars. It's just going to be off of a DT expand here. And we have the Oracle coming into the main base now. What defenses have we got? We actually have a Sentry and a Stalker. Mothership Core with Photon Overcharge as well. More or less guarantees the kill, and that's very, very good indeed. 4 workers killed versus 1 right now. Doing a pretty good job there, but how much damage is this guy going to get done? Oh, and the Stalkers are blocking. They're blocking the ramp. The DT can't go up. He smelt a rat, and that's going to be good enough. Really fantastic reactions from Hunter here. And GungFuBanda is not going to be able to get any purchase done with these Dark Templars at all. Very, very nicely done there by our Korean Protoss player. Doing a fantastic job. So now both players are going to be getting their expansions up. And, well, Hunter, I have to say, his Oracle didn't do an awful lot. It's true. I thought the defense from GungFuBanda here was just pretty good. But, on the flip side, the defense from Hunter here against the Dark Templars was actually just absolutely flipping magnificent. So, no complaints there at all. Hunter did take less damage and is arguably ahead overall. GungFuBanda, of course, he's going to be going into Blink. It's a pretty natural synergy there. It looks like that research is being pumped up through those tubes on the side of the map. That's the equivalent of Chrono Boost. That, or someone has a massive hybrid car that they're plugging in to charge. So both sides going for differing tech routes. Don't forget, it's going to take forever to get any sort of massive numbers of robotics units from both players, really. We have the Stargate on one side and the Twilight and Dark Shrine on the other. Of course, proxied in the top left of the map. But it is going to be Hunter first, who goes for an Immortal. And, well, Immortals versus Blink. I almost said Blink Sentries there. Blink Sentries would indeed be a little bit crazy. But Immortals versus Blink Stalkers tends to be a very, very old sort of Protoss style kind of matchup here. And generally quite well understood. We have an Oracle here trying to come into the natural expansion to see if he can pick off a couple of workers. And not the greatest number, unfortunately. 4 versus 3. And Observer now from GungFuBanda is just going to be checking out what's going on out the front here. Now, the good news is, for our blue Protoss player, is that he has map control. I mean, he's got pylons here, there, and everywhere. He's getting a second pylon over here. And Hunter is not currently enjoying the level of map control he would ideally like. He also sees, with his hallucinated Phoenix, the Stalkers moving out across the map. So, let's check out what he's going to be seeing here. Not too much so far. I mean, he's spotted the Twilight Council, of course, with that Oracle coming in. Sees that the Forge is researching something as well. And we'll now see these Stalkers actually in the front of the base. And this actually could be a big, big engagement. The second Immortal is in the back, not doing very much. But Hunter should have enough firepower here to ward this away. The Mothership Core also is full energy, so Photon Overcharge is just very, very easy from this point onwards. But GungFuBanda has other ideas. I think he wants to just be blinking up straight into the main base here. It looks like the pile on the edge of base is going to go down. Is he going to risk a blink in? Yes, he is. He sees the Immortals over there on the ramp, and he's actually going to be targeting down the robotic. He will get it as well. The Colossus is not going to come out. Really, really nicely done. Picks off a Zealot as well. Is he going to get the pylon on the way out? Yeah, he's definitely going to go for it, and I think that's going to be as much as he can try and do here. Really, really good job here from GungFuBanda. Destroying that robotics facility. Very, very frustrating for Hunt here. He's going to have to rebuild that ASAP. He's instead replacing it with 2 gateways, though. Oh no, pardon me, he's got 2 robotics facilities. So there you go. There we have them in the natural, going straight up to double robo. You kill one, they're going to be like a Hydra. We've got 2 to take its place. GungFuBanda now trying to move in and snipe off a couple of units on the high ground. He has a small Stalker force here, moving into the natural expansion to pick off probes as well. We're going to have to use a Photon Overcharge, I think. There we go, and there it is. Oh, you could pick off 2 more workers, deciding against it at the moment. Number of workers at the moment, 47 versus 49. And GungFuBanda just enjoying a lot of map presence right now. We've also got additional upgrades coming. You can take a look. Hunter right now, well, his upgrades are superior, but his mobility is so hindered right now compared to GungFuBanda, and he might even be able to snipe off the Forge if he wants to as well, and that really will spell the end of any potential upgrade advantage. It doesn't look like he'll quite have time to go for it at the moment, but the Cybernetics Core and 2 of these gateways are actually unpowered right now, and more pylons are getting destroyed. Really, really nice sort of pick and mix here. And these Stalkers are just doing so much damage over here on the left-hand side, almost killing the Mothership Core as well. 2 more workers killed in the face of that engagement, and a 3rd base going down behind this. The story of this game really is the mobility, and oh my goodness, where is the nearest observer? It's just nowhere to be seen right now. And we have Stalkers potentially blinking in as well. He cannot actually afford to go back and focus on that DT forever and a day. Another pylon goes down. Are we going to see a second one as well? Yes, we are. He's hanging around for that. He could retreat and kill that off as well. well. He's thinking about it. No, the Colossus is doing a bit too much damage, but look at how much damage this Dark Templar is doing. It's actually absurd. 7 kills and counting. Number of workers killed 4 versus 13. And our Korean Protoss Hunter for Team Neurosoft is having such a difficult time in this game. There's just nowhere for Hunter to actually position his units where he can counter all of these threats. The Dark Templar is about to come back in. I'm not even going to focus on the main base right now. We know that those Stalkers are about to blink out, but we have more probes dying in the natural. The number of workers now is 43 to 53, and Hunter is supply blocked as well. Yes, okay, he's got 2 Colossi. Let's take a look at what the unit count looks like. But we have Immortals behind this as well from GungFuBanda. It's not like he's completely naked at home. He's just having the time of his life with this Stalker force. He's going to be able to come in and kill off a couple more pounds. I really would have preferred if he tried to snipe off the Forge, but you know what? That's dotting I's and crossing T's at this point. But he has a 20 supply advantage in a PvP. That's pretty darn substantial. And this third base... is this third base going to get cancelled right now? Wow. I thought he was going to go in and maybe take out that probe, but at least GungFuBanda has another target to attack. Now, Hunter... I mean, taking this third base is almost offensive because what he wants to do is be able to focus on just defending one location. All of a sudden, he can put his army here, and he defends against Blink Stalkers coming into his main base as well as going up to his natural. So it's actually really, really good that he's taking his third in this location. I think the only thing he wishes is that he had that location about 5 minutes prior to now, because there were so many fantastic little attacks coming in from the Blink Stalkers that, yeah, I just think it's been constantly cost-effective for GungFuBanda all game long. Resources lost is 4,000 versus 2,500 right now. And GungFuBanda doesn't look like, by the way, he's competing in the Colossus department. He just wants to absolutely overrun this force with Immortals. Both players have +3 attack on the way now, and they're more or less normalized too, so they're kind of around the same pace. Neither player has armor just yet, so worth noting that, and double Colossus production is out for Hunter. So these Immortals are going to be key to winning or losing the game for GungFuBanda. Yes, he has a really nice economic advantage, shall we say, from the opening of this game. He's just played it fantastically well. But also don't forget that you can just get zoned out by Colossi. They still have a bigger range. You still need to make sure you can stomp through those force fields, which is part of the reason why this Archon is here. And you still need to make sure you get within range to attack them. Otherwise, these Colossi sit at the back. They rain down damage all day long, and they can turn the tables very, very quickly indeed. So mobility, GungFuBanda's friend, and definitely the reason why he's currently ahead. However, being ahead does not a game one make. Did that even make sense? Who cares? We're rolling with it. Second robotics facility about to complete here for our blue Protoss. Hunter, in the meantime, has stabilized. He's back up to 64 workers right now, and still continuing to produce those Colossi 2 at a time. Look how quickly those units disintegrated. Odd route. Too harassing right now. We've got High Templars morphing in now as well for Archon. So it looks like if GungFuBanda maybe had a, I don't know, I want to say some sort of opening to try and pick off as many of these Colossi as he could, I think it's actually starting to fade. Because once you get to some critical number where the amount of damage done is just insane, and you also have Archons to soak up damage and sentries in this army as well, it just becomes a little more difficult for those Immortals to get in range unless the defending player with the Colossi happens to make a mistake during the engagement. GungFuBanda instead using this to say, right, I'm just going to go ahead and take my 4th base instead. Double Hallucinated Phoenix is going to scare the crap out of this Mothership Core and this Colossus, but generally speaking, it will be fine. We have a Photon Cannon in the mineral line because those Dark Templars are always a threat, and now we have the Stalker Hit Squad coming in. And they're not actually going to get that much damage done because this massive army from Hunter is just kind of sat there right now. Oh, he might be able to get a Colossus, though. I spoke too soon. He does indeed. That's a pretty tasty pickoff right there. And we have War Prism Harass simultaneously with those Zealots in them, too. Actually killing off a Nexus. Doing a really, really good job there as GungFuBanda. And all of a sudden, Hunter getting just that little bit further behind. He has a massive Death Ball, though. And that is going to be very, very crucial to him getting counter-attacking damage done. He's behind at the moment by about 20 supply. That drop there was just really, really good from GungFuBanda. Sorry we weren't there for the start of that. And Hunter's going to be taking his 4th now as well. But I feel like this is the time of the game where he really needs to start being a bit more aggressive. He isn't taking 2 extra bases at once, by the way. One of those bases is actually his natural expansion that he's retaking. But this is a situation where Hunter, I mean, he could just accept that he's behind, but I'm not sure he really wants to do that. I think he needs to get to a position where he can say, right, I actually need to get some damage done now, because GungFuBanda, I mean, he's got +3 complete. He's actually ahead in upgrades now because he's researching this +1 armor. He's starting the double Colossi himself, and he's at 200. He's moving out across the map. Hunter can only be defensive right now. GungFuBanda is actually starting to build up a little bit of a gap as well in terms of that bank. And this Warp Prism isn't dead yet, so I'm just incredibly worried for Hunter right now. I'm not sure he'll be able to survive this fight. If he does, it's because these Colossi can just do so much collective damage. It is 6 Colossi versus 4, so anything can happen. But a lot of Archons and a couple of hallucinated ones here as well for GungFuBanda. It looks like he's going to be coming in any moment now, and here we go. This is the engagement that could decide the game and is likely to decide the game. The Zealots and Archons taking so much damage from GungFuBanda. Hunter is doing so much DPS with those Colossi, but they feel like they're not very far away from the front lines right now. The Stalkers in front are melting, and there are still 2 or 3 Immortals, and they rain absolute hell on these Colossi, not to mention those charge loss. Hunter is going to get entirely pushed back here. The Warp Prism, in the meantime, not even going to be required. GG! And GungFuBanda is going to win game number 1 of this best of series versus Team Neurosoft's Hunter.